What's up, gamers? Andrew here from GamingFreaks.com. I realized I've done a couple app reviews. However, I haven't done an actual review on the iPod itself. And yes, this is it. I have opened it. However, when you get the iPod Touch, this is what it comes in looking like. Only there's a sticker on the front. Now this is the third generation 8 gig, and a lot of people would like to argue saying that the 8 gig is really just the second generation. However, Apple on their website and in the store, like Walmart and Amazon.com, they all say that the 8 gig is a third gen. So this is the third generation 8 gig because, you know, it's Apple's product, and if they say it's the third generation, then it's the third generation. However, there's not too much new to it. First off, as you can see, when it comes to style, here, let me just pop it out of here. When it comes to the style of this thing, it's nice and sleek. However, you can see smudges all over this thing, and I washed this thing earlier this morning for doing this review, and then just held it a little. So as you can see, I've had this, what, 4 days now, perhaps, and it's insanely dirty, and I keep having to wash it off constantly, you know, wiping it down with something. Anyhow, the iPod Touch itself is insanely thin. This thing is insane for a touchscreen device. It's just so thin, and it's pretty light. I mean, it's a little heavy for how thin it looks. However, it's really, you know, it's light, and there's nothing to complain about when it comes to the design. The iPod Touch has one button on the face here, which is the home button, which, you know, does what it just did. Also, on the side, there's the volume buttons, both up and down, no duh. Well, also on the top, we have the sleep wake button, or the lock button, whatever you want to call it. Press it, turns it off, turns it on. Same thing. And that is the only button. Now, there is Apple's little special, you know, connector here, the USB connector. I want to say it's like 30 pin or something like that. I can't really remember. And they do have the smaller headphones. Now the third generation comes with the USB cable, of course. It also comes with the headphones. Now the 8 gig comes with just the normal headphones, and as you can see, there's nothing on there. However, the 32 and 60, I think it's 64 or 65, actually comes with on here, on the headset themselves. There's a little button with a built-in mic, and it also has the volume buttons and a button in the middle. But, you know, I honestly didn't think I'd be using that anyway. So there's nothing new to the design, really, between the second and third gen. So this thing, however, if you're new to the iPod or you haven't been studying up on it, this thing is incredible. The iPod is basically a downed version of the iPhone. It's for those of us who don't have AT&T, because, you know, AT&T's coverage sucks, so half of us are forced to, you know, use something else like Verizon. Anyhow, what this is just an MP3 player with everything else. This is a nice little pocket computer. As you can see, when you turn it on, you get the little home page, and I have dozens of apps here. I have, you know, Assassin's Creed games, all kinds of games, and other applications, including, I mean, you know, this thing is incredible. It comes with a bunch of already installed things, apps like this that you can't remove. However, the cool thing is, you know, you can download hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications for this thing. It's insanely fun. I mean, you can just find a lot of stuff to do. So as you can see here, I've got Facebook, and then just a bunch of other games. And what the iPod has become, even though it was really intended to be a music player, this thing has become a portable game player. And I have had both the DS and the PSP. And the DS, this is a DS. This is a DS. The only difference is there's one screen and it doesn't fold over. But this is, you know, the bottom screen on the DS, the touch screen. That is what this is. And why I say that is because it looks just like the DS. It plays games really similar to it. and it's great. Now the PSP, the only difference between the PSP and this really are the fact that the PSP, it looks a little bit better. However, this thing is insanely fun. Now the cool thing about this are, of course, the apps. The best part about the apps is they can range anywhere from 99 cents to $10, which is actually fairly cheap for a game. 99 cents isn't too bad. To where on the DS and stuff and the PSP, you're really going to be most likely paying a higher price just to get a game. And the cool thing is they're all downloadable. They download fast. And the coolest part of the iPod is the fact that it downloads over Wi-Fi, and you can actually download everything. Last night I downloaded the entire Hangover movie, and it took 45 minutes to download it all, and that was it. And I actually have the entire movie on here. Anyhow, I'm just going to show you a little demo of one of the games here. I like her because that other dude creeps me out. Anyhow, I'm just going to show you one of the games, and the cool thing is there really are no other buttons except this home button here on the iPod, so everything is completely done with touching the screen. And when I was first learning about the iPod Touch, I questioned the idea of using, the screen as a touch screen for controls and stuff, but now I see how it works. It's really smooth, really easy actually to control and just move around like this. It's easy and simple to do. As you can see, a lot of the games put a virtual joystick and stuff on there. As you can see, virtual buttons because there are no buttons. Now, one of the fun parts about the iPod that the DS does not have is a built-in accelerometer. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a motion detecting device, sort of like the PlayStation 3 has in its controller. However, this one's more fun. Anyhow, as you can see, motion, I'm using going back and forth like this and playing this game here, back and forth. Also, what I love about the iPod is you can have tons of games right away on the screen, on the home screen, and they open fast, they work easy, and they're just a great deal. For instance, if I can find it here, the all-in-one game box. This is 24 games for 99 cents. You get 24 games for 99 cents, and there are a lot of things. There's a lot of deals like that on the App Store, and that's what's really cool about this. So I don't want to just waste time doing games. I'm going to show you some other stuff. We also have a YouTube app. This thing plays some really nice YouTube stuff. Honestly, you can sign into your account and do just about anything. So let me show you. For instance, I have favorites here, and we all know the Mean Kitty, right? At least you should. So it plays YouTube really nice. You can watch it normally like that, or you can double touch to zoom in, or touch once. So I can't really show too much of that thanks to YouTube's flagging copyright crap. Anyhow, it does have a built-in speaker, which is actually not too loud. However, it gets by, and a lot of times you'll just be using the headphones anyway, and it sounds incredible. Even the YouTube sound, just listening to it, for instance, listening to music on YouTube or something, that even works out, great. So a lot of apps here, tons of apps to download. I got Facebook right here. So, it's a nice little tool. It's definitely a pocket computer. It has Safari built in, and the coolest part about Safari is this browser actually lets you have multiple web pages open like this. Let's see here. And just so you know, I'll most likely turn this into a two-part video. Anyhow, I'll go to gamingfreaks.com. And this thing actually brings the entire internet to your pocket. It really feels like it because it brings the actual version of websites and it does it right. As you can see, here's our website, and what it's done is actually made it fit into here, into the screen here. The one problem with the browser is there is no Flash player, but you can get by without that. You most likely didn't expect to play too many games. However, as you can see, this is the entire website. I'm looking at it here. You can pinch and zoom in and everything like that. So I'm going to have to stop this video and make it part 2. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching, and check out part 2.